So when we start getting into 10.4, this is talking about the different ways we can interact with a network, so moving around within a network. So I've pulled these out of the textbook. We've got these two networks here and some different terms that we're going to talk about. So a walk. So any sequence of vertices of a graph along any edge which may include repeated vertices or repeated edges. So a walk pretty much means that we're moving around in our network and there's no rules for us to follow. So it's saying that we're going from, if I can get my pen to work, here we go. So we've gone A, B, F, where are we next? H, G, F, B. So as you can see, we've not only crossed over edges, but vertices as well. And that's totally fine. So that's a walk. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Clear all that off. And let's look at a trail. So trail's the next one up. And that means that we've got no repeated edges. So we're not actually walking over the same path at all. So we're starting at G this time. And we're going G to F, so G to F to H, back to G again. So we're visiting the same vertex, but we're not going over the same edge. From G, we're moving out to I, and then I all the way down to J. So we've got repeated vertices in there, which is totally okay. Okay, so that's a trail. Next up, let's look at a path. So a path means that we have no repeated vertices. So we can't visit the same spot twice. So we're starting at B this time, and we're moving to A, to D, to E, and to C. And as you can see, we haven't crossed any of the same vertices. Right. Next one is a circuit. So a walk with no repeated edges, and we start and finish at the same vertex. So think about it like circuit training. You would start in this one spot, go right round and finish in the same spot. So a circuit, so you complete that cycle through. So circuit, you're completing that full rotation. So we're starting at G, and we're going F to H to G to I to J to G. And as you can see, we have started and finished on the same vertex, and we've actually gone through it again. So there's no rules about crossing over vertices. Okay, so remember that a circuit, we can repeat vertices, but then we move on to a cycle. So a cycle, there's no repeated vertices. So we start and finish at the same vertex, but you cannot repeat over a vertice. So we're going from A to B to C to D to E to A. So you can see we started and finished at the same spot, but we didn't ever cross over the same vertex. So that is a cycle. And then finally a bridge. We've touched on this briefly, hopefully in one of the lectures that you watched just recently. A bridge keeps the graph connected, so meaning that from one vertex you can get to any other on the graph. So for example here, if I took out this edge here, it's no longer a connected graph because you can't get from point A, vertex A, to any of these over here. And likewise, you can't get from G to any of these ones over here. However, if I took out BC, you can still get to all the other vertices. So that's why BF is a bridge. All of the other edges, if you took them out, it still remains a connected graph. So that's what a bridge entails. So let's go on and have a bit more of a look at the different types of paths, circuits, cycles and trails. So we'll move on into the next video.